Well, this is Brian Masters with Shiloh Coffee Supply. We are one of the trusted distributors of Fracino machines here in America. And what we have here today is the Contempo 1E propane gas machine, the dual fuel machine. We've got it out of the box, and before we set it up and show you all the parts to how to set that up, I wanted you to see a couple quick things. And this is primarily true on all Fracino machines. They do come wrapped in plastic, and you can take that off. You can see all the side panels have protective gear on them, which you're going to need to take that off as well. There is a box that will have all of the portafilters and things in there for you, and so make sure that you pull that out as well. I want to show you a couple quick things that are unique to the dual fuel machines. The one you see here is actually the original type, not the one necessarily for America with the UL setting. The UL setting is one which you get taller legs. So you can see here that there's quite a bit of difference between how many inches this thing sits off the ground. Here in America, a lot of the requirements require it to be taller so you can clean under it easier. And also in America, we are concerned about safety, which is a good thing. There's a piece of glass that goes into that hole, because this is the hole that goes through to the flame for a propane machine. The rest of the world doesn't need that glass. And so this is not the UL version, but it works identical to the UL version. But we will show you how this comes together. Now, one of the other components that all of the Fracino machines come to, and I want to show you this because it's a very important piece. On top of the sight glass, there is a pressure relief valve, and up in there is a red clip. All of the machines come with a red clip attached to that. As you are setting that up, you will want to remove that red clip because that will allow it to build steam. They are shipped this way as a preventive measure to make sure that nothing is in that tank. You will also get your test certificate and paperwork from Fracino that shows that it left the factory in working condition, and then you can start putting those pieces together. This red clip is an important piece to take off the first time you use it. It was on top of the sight glass, and again, in this model, the Contempo, it's hard to see, but it was up in that hole there. It was just laying on the top of that section. So I unscrewed these top pieces and popped that up so that we could get that piece out. Again, the very first time you use it, you're going to need to take the red clip off. We're taking out all of the wiring and things that were underneath the drip tray. You have your 220 plug, which you do need, even if you're running on propane, and we'll show that set up in one of the subsequent sections. You have your gas line, which we'll show in another setup. This, by the way, is not a water line. And then you have the pump that is external, because this one is the dual fuel, so it does have the firebox underneath the boiler, and that's where the propane is going, just like a regular barbecue grill. The fire will go through there, and thus the pump that runs the head is going to need to be external. So within this pump here, one of the wires that is under here has three wires to it: the blue, brown, and the yellow green. These are the UK versions of what we are used to in America. But you'll notice the color coding matching up the blue with the blue, brown with the brown, and the yellow and green with the green. These other two are to run the capacitor there. So I wanted to show you that. Again, you should be hooked up by a professional, but if you need to move this for some reason off of your counter, sometimes you'll need to unhook it from the pump in order to move the machine off of the counter, depending on how it's bolted. And if you do move it, make sure that the wires get put back in the correct spots, or it will blow a glass fuse on the control board on there. So that you can replace that, but just as a safety feature, I want to make sure you get it connected correctly. So then in the subsequent videos, we'll show you how to hook up the water, the gas, and everything else. Okay, we have this machine ready to go. This is the first time it's been turned on, and we're using it on electric only, just for the first time to show that everything is working, and then we'll show you the setup for the propane. Again, this is a dual fuel machine, so you can run it on fully electric all the time if you want, or on propane, or you can switch back and forth depending on your setup. However, the first time this is run, you'll notice that the sight glass shows there's no water in there. And because we're running it on electric, or if you're running on propane, you want to fill the tank partway full. To do that, you're going to turn on the machine. The pump is going to kick in, and typically this solenoid, which is right here, is going to be what's pulling the water in. The first time you use it, you'll notice this lever down here. There is a bypass valve. When that is going horizontal like that, the solenoid is what's kicking in. If it goes vertical, then it will bypass that. And just like your garden hose at home, it will continue running water all the way into the tank, which is good to get it halfway full. And then you want to turn it to the side and let the solenoid kick in to fill it the rest of the way. Believe me, I've done it the other way and left that on. It will overfill and it will blow one of the electronics in the machine. So make sure you're only filling it halfway when you run that. And again, this is the first time just to get it halfway filled so that the heating element doesn't burn out that's in the tank. And so you'll start to see it filling up right here. Once it gets to about halfway, that's when you want to take and turn this back to the horizontal position. And at that point, then you can turn on the power. Well, thank you for watching these videos from Shiloh Coffee Supply. We have great videos that you can subscribe below on how to use the Fracino machines, as well as how to repair or do any of the maintenance on the Fracino espresso machines and their grinders. Appreciate it very much and have a great day.